Next item is 503 Green Street, conditional use, and we'll hear from Kevin again.
Yep.
All right.
It's me till the end. Good evening again. This is a conditional use application at 503 Green Street for the renovation of a 650 square foot existing commercial space. It was previously a t-shirt shop for a bar and lounge use. Zoning is HRCC 1. Property, as you can see here, is almost directly across the street from where we are tonight, the corner of Duval and Green Street. You can switch to the next one. It's the storefront, kind of to the left of the tall palm tree there with the blue siding. That's the space in question. Go to the next slide. This is survey of the property. It's kind of a corner property, but it kind of bends around towards along Green Street towards the rear. There's some parking in the back. I'd use my laser to point if I could. I don't have that working. You can go to the next slide. The tenant space is shaded there as area of work. That's the 650 square foot space they're leasing for the bar space. This project is located within the pedestrian-oriented area, which, as you know, allows changes of use without having to comply with parking, as long as there's no expansion of the use. And in this case, there's no expansion; it's just change of use within the existing space. The one and only minor issue that we're adding a condition to that's not in the staff report is for a walk-in cooler located in the back of the property. It's a piece of equipment. It should be meeting the 2.5-foot setback along this rear or it's the side setback. We're going to be adding a condition, and I'll go through regarding that they either make it portable or obtain a variance for a permanent piece of equipment there. I guess you can go to the next slide for me. You can see it probably better on your monitors, but you can see the bar space. The consumption area is mainly in the front here. This is a very small space if you've been over there, but they've got two ADA accessible restrooms, male, female, and the cooler in the back I was just mentioning. You can go to the next slide, Venetia. Staff has evaluated the request, found it consistent with the criteria for conditional use approval. Staff's recommending now 7 conditions. I'll just go through those really quickly. One, that the approved use be consistent with the plans by Richard Malelli that are attached to the packet. 2, that they, since it is an historic district, obtain any certificates of appropriateness they may need. Next slide, please. Number 3, that we've been doing with other new commercial uses, and this is not mandatory, but that we recommend that they participate in Waste Management's commercial recycling program and/or participate in a certified green business program such as the Keys Glee program. Go to the next slide. This is the new condition addressing that walk-in cooler in the back, and that is that unless it's located to comply with the setbacks, or they obtain a variance approval for that the walk-in cooler be portable, able to be stored indoors when the business is closed, or moved in the event of emergencies. Next slide. 5, that they get the conditional approval permit that's required for conditional uses, since we are recommending conditions. Next slide. 6, that these are some of the conditions part of that annual inspection, that the approved use be for on-premises consumption only, and any future change or expansion requires a separate approval. 7, that the approved use be limited to the interior of the building because of that pedestrian-oriented rule with triggering parking, and that any expansion be subject to further approvals. And then lastly, Venetia. Do a little page down, or is that it? I'm out of conditions. Okay, we're done. Anyway, the applicants are here. I think they have a short presentation video to give. So I'm done. Thanks.
All right, Kevin. Any questions for staff? And we'll hear from the applicant.
Hello, my name is Blake Feldman. My wife Catherine and I are the owners of the Green Room, the business asking for your conditional use permitting for the property located literally directly across the street from us right now. It is very small, but we would like to thank the City of Key West, the board members, the commission, and the city staff for being proactive, and Kevin for being extremely proactive in the assistance and guidance of us pursuing this permit. Instead of telling you 100 reasons or statements about our project, I'm going to show you 1,000 reasons you should embrace it on behalf of the city as an addition to our community. My name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Want some help, Anisha?
Your magic didn't work.
I'll be right there.
My name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Operations. My name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Operations of TreeHouse. When I first started working here, my name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Operations of TreeHouse. When I first started working here, my name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Operations of TreeHouse. When I first started working here, it was called Rooftop Tavern. That was a little over 2.5 years ago.
Blake started out as a bartender. Within just a couple of months, I could see that he was really good with people. He began implementing a lot of principles from his business school, and he treated it more, he treated it like a business.
I've been coming here since I was, 21, and it's completely different.
Our business has increased threefold.
He just never stops grinding at becoming the best.
Blake and I talked about where he would invest for his first venture. He picked Key West, and Key West is the tourist mecca of the Southeast.
Blake will do very well in Key West because it's so fast-paced.
It's a port of call that's also an island. Everybody parties in 4 blocks.
We've got 6 times the market in Key West. We've got about $1 billion more in taxable tourism industry.
Our property is located on the corner of the busiest intersection in Key West.
Right at Ground Zero. We call it Ground Zero because it's got the highest foot traffic on this tiny little island.
To sweeten the deal, I own the brand and franchising rights nationwide for TreeHouse. I know that my next TreeHouse will be successful. I'm giving you the opportunity to invest in me and a proven brand that I've already built.
Blake Feldman's best trait is his tenacity. What he wanted to do from the very beginning when he became manager was to rebrand. It was a hard sell for me, but he worked me down.
TreeHouse has turned around since it was rooftop. There's 100 different things that have been done in the last year and a half alone.
He marketed foot traffic, he marketed at the hotel level, he marketed through video, and to this day, business continues to increase on a monthly basis.
No one here has done anything like that until Blake came and did it.
Investment is often a hard thing to do. Needless to say, we recovered that within the first 4 or 5 months of business after rebranding. We tripled the amount of employees. We had to.
Our crew is hands down the fastest in Savannah. I think we have a great staff for one. It's not just that, it's the way we were trained.
When I first came here, I was able to make the drinks and things like that pretty easily, but it's actually engaging with the customers.
Never picked up a bottle before I came here. It's definitely something I've learned from Blake. Me and him would practice outside of work. We'd go to the house and practice, or go when we were at the beach, we'd practice and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool thing to learn, especially in a bar. It's just a novelty thing.
We sell a customer experience here that's bar none probably one of the best.
I was given the opportunity to take my ideas and my theories and my business background and run with it.
He has a lot of energy, a lot of ideas, a lot of enthusiasm in what he's doing.
It's the perfect mixture to have as someone to lead this type of business. Come look at my place and look what he's done here. I am the bar to go to in Savannah now, and that's all because of the efforts of Blake Feldman.
Blake and Kat, they have this great idea for something they call the Green Room.
Because we're trying to use a green initiative. We're upcycling, we're recycling. We're trying to give back to the community.
It's kind of a different business model than what's out there already. Than, somebody that's from out of town comes and they're just about like, what can I take out of this place? Whereas
I'm trying to show everyone on the island, not just the bars, you can be part of the community, you can give back to the community, and still make a decent profit. The local Hub and Eco Pub is going to use local sources for construction. We're going to source locally for employees.
making Key West a better place by taking care of the locals first.
Because it's an island bar, and we want to be about the island. We want the island to be a part of it.
I've served on the Heart Commission for 6 years, on the Key West Planning Board for almost 10. Currently now serving a term on the Utility Board for Keys Energy in the city of Key West. Coming into this project, we all looked at this building and
Taking kind of an eyesore and turning it into something that, to me, will be an addition.
meant for the entertainment district. And from a planning board standpoint, this is something that's almost allowable without approvals. Taking a very small area of Key West, a very small spot, and we're starting out with an idea that needs to become a big thing in all communities.
It's more about a philosophy than it is really about a thing. And that philosophy is about not wasting things, about reusing things.
Upcycling is taking something that's no longer useful and giving it a new and useful second life. Reducing our footprint as a business. We're trying to make less of an impact on the local ecology while helping the local economy.
They're taking materials that would be thrown away and they're using them all over the bar, so it's not just a bar.
We have started a sustainability board in the city of Key West. I think this fits right into what we are trying to do. And that impact of what Blake's trying to do, along with our sustainability board, gives us credibility as a town that we are going and moving forward. And it's a great impact and a great way to mentor other people to try out the same thing.
I think the city should be excited about the fact that there's a business like this focused on, reusing what we have.
There was an almond tree right next to the house that my husband and I are renting.
Unfortunately, it was old and ailing.
And it killed 4 cars on the 4th of July. It actually smushed them.
And it had a giant hive of bees in it that were relocated on Big Pine. Blake called me one morning to let me know that this giant tree was coming down.
It was all going to the dump. We offered to take it off their hands for free. It's not coming to the dump.
And I scrambled and I called some friends and was able to put together a dump truck and a driver that morning, which is unheard of. And from that morning until 4:30, we had completely removed this giant tree and have it staged and stored and ready to mill.
We're making parts of a bar out of it.
Using pieces this big around that would never be used otherwise. Those would either be mulched or thrown away. Our goal would be to use as much of that tree as we can.
I've been here 20 years, and there's no other bars in town that I've seen have even an inkling of what he's trying to do. Local wood, local construction workers, and artists like myself, keeping the money in our community.
It's about making a difference that is about contributing to the community.
Open up the starting gates in Key West, put something in here that's going to be meaningful to the community. It's going to set an example for everyone around us.
You can be eco-friendly and sustainable.
Have a great business and still follow the rules that we need to change our world around and make it a greener and better place.
I know that my husband and I are new to the island, and I know we've got a lot to learn about it. We'd like to contribute to it. Hopefully you like what we're doing, and I would really appreciate it if you would approve this project.
All right. You are going to speak to us, right?
My name is Blake Feldman. I'm the VP of Operations at TreeHouse. When I first started working here, it was called Rooftop Tavern.
Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to show you guys exactly what we're trying to do, and we're trying to set an example, but in the same respect, I would really love to become part of the Sustainability Board. I love what we have here, and I believe that reusing what we have is an important thing that we can really show as part of our business and part of our lifestyle. I mean, this bar is not just a bar for us. It's a way of life to show others how is a safer and cleaner way to live your life. I don't want to have trash. I don't want to have to hurt our delicate sewage systems. I think that we should be cognizant of those things. But beyond that, we do need to talk about the plans. Is there any concerns from the board members or questions that I can answer?
Any questions? Mr. Root, you look good on camera there, buddy.
I glanced through here, so your cups are biodegradable, everything?
The disposable cups are biodegradable. They're made out of cornstarch, so that's the good part about that. The other cups are all recyclable plastic, BPA free.
All righty. Anybody else? Has anybody signed up to speak on this?
No, sir.
Michael?
Michael Halpern, 209 Duval Street. I once owned this building. I'm deeply sad that I sold it. I own buildings around it on side. I own buildings on the 100 block of Duval and the 200 block of Duval. And I've been building and developing on Duval Street for 40 years. In all the years I've been here, I have never seen more creative, energetic, work ethic, beyond belief, young people than the people who just made that presentation to you. I'm here tonight to support their application because I truly believe they're extraordinary. They work so hard. They want to do the right thing so hard. They will be a neighbor of mine, and I think if you give them the opportunity to build this place, they will make this planning commission very proud. So I'm here to give them my highest recommendation and ask that you approve this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Anybody else?
That's it, sir.
Okay. I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? I have a motion from Mr. Gillerin, a second from Ms. Spotswood. Call the roll.
Michael Browning?
Yes.
James Gillerin?
Yes.
Peter Pike?
Yes.
Christy Spotswood? Yes. Sam Holland?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Good luck. Good to see you, Tim. Mike, you want 5 minutes? Guys, we're going to take a 5-minute quick break right before the